25 years ago, an important milestone was achieved by the oil and gas industry of Kazakhstan. The final production sharing agreement was signed, which governs the relations between the Karachaganak Petroleum Operating B.V. consortium and the Republic. Karachaganak's success is firmly associated with transfer of modern technologies and best practices from the venture's partners including Eni, Shell, Chevron, LUKOIL and KazMunayGas. Karachaganak's history dates back to the 70s, when geological and prospecting surveys gained momentum in West Kazakhstan, resulting in the discovery of a unique oil, gas and condensate field.
Karachaganak's development started 5 years after its discovery in 1979 by an Uralsk-based oil geology company led by Sukhan Kamilov. First, data was collected confirming a huge size of the deposit. To untap the full potential of the field, sophisticated technology and qualified personnel were required. At that time, these were not available. The first drilling started in 1984. It was successful and resulted in subsequent production of first gas, oil, and condensate.
The so-called pilot production phase was launched in 1984. 2 years later, production level reached 5 billion cubic meters of gas and 3 million tons of condensate. The development of the field until the early 90s was going at a rapid pace. New wells were drilled, production facilities were put into operation, and production volumes were gradually increasing. In a short period of time, 48 wells were drilled at the field. The extracted crude was routed to the Orenburg processing plant. However, the collapse of the Soviet Union affected traditional economic ties. The facilities were not timely upgraded and started to fail. Investments, new technologies, resources and best international practices were required to achieve this task. Kazakhstan needed to find reliable partners for the development of the field. Negotiations for Karachaganak started in 1992. First, companies from Italy and the United Kingdom were engaged. An interim production sharing agreement was signed. This was later followed by the final production sharing agreement. Its signing laid the foundation for the modern history of Karachaganak.
In November 1997, an agreement was signed in Washington in the presence of our first president, Nazarbayev, and the U.S. Vice President Albert Gore. In July 2004, the first batch of liquids was shipped from Karachaganak to tankers in the port of Novorossiysk. By building an export pipeline connecting to the CPC system, Karachaganak got access to the world market.
Today, the development of the Karachaganak field is a key driver for the development of regional economy and local business. KPO partners actively support government initiatives and programs in the field of industrial and innovative development.
Karachaganak is one of the 3 largest fields in Kazakhstan, along with Tengiz and Kashagan, that contribute to implementation of plans aimed at increasing oil production in our country. Thanks to the efforts of specialists working on this project today, it is possible to maintain the oil plateau extension, thus ensuring a significant contribution to the development of the West Kazakhstan Oblast and the country as a whole. In addition to social projects that are carried out as part of Karachaganak field development activities, development of local machine building, production of goods, works and services that can be used at this large field are also very important.
In accordance with FPSA, the interests of the Republic of Kazakhstan are represented by the PSA Authority. The relations between KPO and the Republic are built on the principles of mutual understanding and partnership.
The ROT government is interested in the successful development of the field. We believe that Karachaganak expansion project is being successfully implemented. In 2021, Karachaganak gas debottlenecking project, with a total cost of about $1 billion, was completed, which made it possible to produce an additional 4 billion cubic meters of gas. Over the 25 years of project implementation, it has proved to be cost-effective for both the consortium and the Republic. I believe that the consortium together with the Republic is successfully developing this project, and there are big tasks ahead of us. Karachaganak, being one of the largest fields in Kazakhstan, takes a special place for our country in the oil and gas industry. Over the past 25 years, thanks to the efforts of the KPO management, partner companies, including the national company KazMunayGas, regulatory bodies, ministries, and the government, great strides have been made.
KPO's fruitful partnership with the Republic ensures a strategic alignment between KPO's plans and the government's objectives, which is key to successful development of the country's natural reserves and economic growth.
Since we started, we've always been part of the community in all ways, not only through the social projects, which of course are very important. We create jobs all in all for in excess of 11,000 people, and the relationship with both the district and the region authorities and all the stakeholders are excellent, and so we want them to continue to be. Safety is the most important parameters of all our business. We've been using that, we've been talking about it, we've been diffusing the culture of safety at all levels, from top to all the workers, and this is our constant paradigm. As a shareholder, we need to be proud of what KPO has achieved in that sphere, because consistently, and particularly in the last several years, KPO has been at the forefront in the industry.
We are privileged with with a world-class asset, and I think it is our opportunity going forward to keep bringing technology, continuous improvement, to get the best out of the asset, not only for the investors, but also for the Republic and society overall. I think everybody working in Karachaganak should be extremely proud of the achievements to date. Always important starting from safety, but I think a great journey so far, great achievements for the company as a whole, but I think we still have a long journey ahead.
We work side by side, in full synergy with the national authority, WQ Akimat and the PSA. We share a common goal to safely operate this amazing facility, applying the latest technologies and assuring a sustainable inflow of revenues, in the same time being the driving force for the development of the economy at the local and national level, in full coordination with the national agenda.
As a socially responsible company, KPO actively engages local contractors in the procurement of goods and services, setting a positive example for organizations whose activities are aimed at sustainable development. In this regard, according to the tasks set by the head of the state, a large-scale work is being carried out aimed at supporting and increasing the competitiveness of local enterprises. This enables their wider participation in large investment projects, such as Karachaganak. Today, Kazakhstani enterprises supply complex and high-tech types of materials and equipment, and in general, the share of local content in KPO purchases has already exceeded $9 billion.
Berlin district is one of the most dynamically developing regions in the country, and the Karachaganak field, which is located here, is one of the leaders of the Kazakhstan oil and gas industry in terms of volume and dynamics of production. This makes a significant contribution to the development of the economy of our region. Thanks to the investment climate created in the country, the KPO consortium is actively developing and cooperating with local enterprises, purchasing their goods and services.
Working in harmony with environment when operating such technologically complex field as Karachaganak is a challenge. KPO's main objective is to ensure safe operations of facilities, to minimize environmental impact and to comply with all requirements of the national legislation. To date, KPO investments into environmental protection activities have exceeded $446 million. In 2021, KPO achieved a world-class gas utilization rate, 99.94%. Karachaganak is gradually becoming an advanced example of energy transition model to follow by taking actions focused on decarbonization, generation of green energy from renewable sources and increased utilization of natural gas.
The green transition is one of our major targets, which includes our aspiration for carbon neutrality. KPO can play a very active role on this process, and indeed, our KPO 365 strategy is based on a number of opportunities aimed to support the path to the CO2 emission abatement, in line with the national and shareholders' targets.
In pursuance of the Digital Kazakhstan State Program, KPO has developed a digital transformation roadmap and a continuous operations improvement strategy which provides for implementation of a number of working platforms that will make the company's operations more efficient and optimize business processes. KPO was one of the first in the industry to implement professional training of personnel at all levels. More than $200 million has been invested in training of local employees over the last 25 years. Today, the share of local employees amongst technical personnel and supervisors is 98% and 85% in managerial positions. KPO annually allocates $20 million for the implementation of social infrastructure projects in the West Kazakhstan Oblast. Aimed at improving quality of life of the residents of the region, the projects are defined and selected by the authorities and executed by KPO. It is important to note that only Kazakhstani companies are involved for the implementation of social projects. With the KPO investments, the city of Uralsk has been enriched with such architectural landmarks as the Regional Philharmonic Hall, House of Celebrations, the Palace of Youth and Schoolchildren, the Kazakh Drama Theater, the Atomic Cultural Center and the Uralsk International Airport. And these are just a few examples of large-scale social projects implemented by KPO over the recent years. Over the last 25 years, KPO has invested more than $456 million into regional infrastructure development. In December 2021, KPO was awarded with the Grand Prix at the Parish Social Responsibility Contest in recognition of its continued contribution to the social and economic development of the region, care for its employees and protection of the environment. The Karachaganak Partners have ambitious plans scheduled for the years ahead. And this means that the project is looking ahead with confidence. The final Karachaganak production sharing agreement signed a quarter of a century ago has laid a solid foundation for mutually beneficial cooperation, which became the key to the successful development of the field for the benefit of future generations of Kazakhstanis.